so many times with the national team. And nobody na we aba. Adechi onka ho na yafro bi foforo. Adechi onka ho na yafro bi foforo. So almost all the time no. Na yenya a national team a static. Players no. I say because they be an different crop of players at the bentino. Na cohesion ni team no mu. Your boys no performance and shut down koye. Vigilant for national for no. And always all the time no. Not your national team no extra goal. But since we try to buy, yes, of course, we'd agree, say at the start now and man koye performance wise. Your team no shada embo baller to say Obia expected the team to play. The kind of footballer you expected the Blasters to play. Blasters near that dominant. You know Obi Ebeboa. Obi him say game way there. I was say Ghana winning by 3-4. Blasters movie ball na. Odim say ni awa ha opiato a we be kwa kofa or the two a we be kwa kofa. So your national team no in recent times and yeah as convincing to say in time past. But Bismarck, you would agree, say Otuado is getting the job done. Say Yako Afcon and Afcon in Yaman Koye and Famaya. Yan qualify to the next Afcon. We cannot miss out in the next World Cup. And no disrespect to the Afcon. But I think that a lot of players would prefer to play at the World Cup than some bebo ever the Afcon. Enti Otuado clearly any the importance of having a unified network of players are obetimi enough results ediama the national team.
Okay.
And clearly I think say squad are wafre for this particular encounter no are good enough to see through the next two games are Ghana yebebo. Benjamin Asari remaining in the squad and obienim the kind of performance of Benjamin Asari put to up since Yamana Quenya said on better push when from the Black Stars. He's never looked back. He's been very good. His save ratio, ne ability to command the back line, and that's that piece of lacquer Eddie Nechino, a mano that composure in post, a mano that kind of confidence, no, and he also he's able to do it and do that to perfection. And he Ben Asari remaining in that setup and doing what he does best, you know, I think say a good for especially your local game, no. Joseph Annan and Lawrence Atiseke has always been around the national team. For Joseph Annan, he's here to command a number one spot our team. But as young as he is, always all the time in the friend national team now, Onya Quenya ebe shame. So I think say good to have two experienced goalkeepers and one young goalkeeper obetimi esua ade bebre ade afru omoho. Even though obo abrochire de, but I do not think say Joseph Anano ewo much experience than Lawrence Atisigi and Benjamin Asari. So good to have a young goalkeeper. Then again, good to have a trusted goalkeeper in Lawrence Atisigi until Benjamin Asari. Now Atisigi na number one choice. Oh, yeah, national team no more. He has been at the World Cup or that rich experience, you know. Who bet me the Abua, the two players, you know. So far, I think say good for the goalkeeping department, and then of course the Black Stars. Then the return of Ali Disedu at right back, Wane Caleb Irenchi. These are going to be our main right back because Tarek Lamte, Ekwa Kupra at Fiorentina. So now it is good that Yebefre Ali Disedu. So Obano Mama started Krana at least with that experience after Onya the anterior crucial ligament or by about 2-3 games with Timia Bo Ediama ni team. So coming back into the setup now, he comes in with that rich experience. Now, with me about the guard, Abranta the other Calibi Renchi, or that competition, so that Uncle to say, if Calibi Renchi knew her, you knew be a right back position, no, or Babebo. So I am so much excited for the fact that Yenya a year Ali Disedu back to the fold. Then Kojo upon paper for OGC Nice, and then you say, oh, yeah. Edema OGC Nice against a year Fenerbahce in the UEFA Europa League. Clearly, or a first choice centre back, won a club move in France. And Obianim, how good the French Liga no aye Ediama Ghanaian players. Most of our top stars are more airborne. Majority of them in your stints a year French Liga no more. And Akolano since or joining OGC Nice last season, no, he's been super good for the team, making sure that Obetimia commanded first team play this season alone. We won 9 games, including the UEFA Europa League. We won 9 games, and share the kind of performance we put to up Ediama a year OGC Nice. And I am so much happy and excited. Say Abranteni Gusua and they owe to me airborne home again. So Bismarck, I feel that. Abranteni din ede Kojo Pepra upon waba back into the setup no, he deserves, and I think say a good for him. Then you would agree say Alexander Jiku, Jerome Opoku, Jonas Ajete in recent times they've been very good with the national team. Even Mohamed Salisu sometimes I was say free bench and Obababi. This particular game, he is there in the squad. Rich experience with AS Monaco. And Monaco boy against Manchester City, even though we make an appearance there, but the kind of quality Mohamed Salisu on any other given day, when you need players who would give you that temperament, that attitude, obetimi the amount. And I think that new experience, obetimi abwa the back line, no, this particular encounter no more. Then Ebenezer Anan, any Gideon Mensah ever battle for the left back position. For Ebenezer Anan, I think say one key thing affecting Opa because we're joining a new team in Saint Etienne. And at Saint Etienne, on said that too exceptional. But so we Gideon Mensah, he is a regular with as Oze. And for Oze last season, the last 2 seasons, and for the Black Stars currently, I do not think that there is any better Ghanaian left fullback there. Ubetimia Kase or deserve it to start in the Black Stars ahead of Gideon Mensah. Maybe as I take to left back, I have Patrick Asiedu. But only scored anymore. Maybe Bismarck Enin, but you're too young for that position at this stage. And I feel that Ebenezer Anan and Gideon Mensah Emma enough cover at the leg back position. Anan Enya a lot of minutes and show what he can do. Because always all the time, no, coach, I prefer say Obenya Gideon Mensah without experience, at the leg back position. Even though on my end that top of the world performance, but between Onua Ebenezer Anan, you would agree that Gideon Mensah more established with that level position than Ebenezer Anan. And I think that Otuado is correct with that position. Now, Bismarck, your midfield, this time you have 5 players and a midfield anymore.
Okay.
Elisha Owusu, Thomas Partey, Kwesi Sebo, Prince Owusu, and Mohamed Kudus. These 5 players are going to be Ghana, players Ebe Yusu in midfield against Central African Republic and Comoros. Elisha Owusu, he might not be play be able to I think that Onua Kasano on Sheda Enya that good seasons, 1 or 2 be na abem no abo, but say best Ghanaian midfielders in Europe Krana. I don't think that Elisha Owusu too good a player. It was a commanding first in place with the national team no more. But at least he's been ever present. He's been made a deputy captain or Oxe. And this time around, he is playing. And I think that coming in with that experience, Ebeboa, the likes of Kwesi Sebomwa, after no monso enya opportunity in the blaster. Don't forget Kwesi Sebo enya a year ne debut against Bobo Kwe from Mali or Ghana when we beat them by 1-0. Yeah. And he was not even part of the squad. I had Kobo Chad, It was after say a player redraw and Omo calling into the squad anymore. Eventually Obe making a debut, partnering Thomas Partey, Mohamed Kudus, and that midfield. And I think that or a bit of stability, a different dimension to your game, and my party, that freedom to exploit, that freedom to run around, play the kind of footballer you expect to see from Thomas Partey, because there was a better cover, a better shield. Even though Kwesi Sebo a sublime performance, it was not as if said he was too dominant in the game. At a point, at least you glimpses of shake in the game. But synonymous with players after the Munyo debut in the national team. That is it. On person by a mistake. And when you are too careful, that is when what time put your mistakes, And I think say when good when must say when opportunity ever at the man, and I believe say with a kind of quality Kwesi Sebo Ekrano coming back to the squad and the kind of footballer this season, Wabo for Real Oviedo, even though in recent times, he's been coming from the bench I think that a good for his confidence. Then Mohamed Kudus, Thomas Partey, Elisha Wusu, I don't think that they need any introduction over the setup. They've been there. Kudus is always going to be a player or starting for the Black Stars on any other given day, especially in crucial games year results. And I think that they coming in very good. For a young Prince Owusu, I think a dream come true for that young man. I joined Mediama last season, and Prince Owusu, baller, what bought in the last 2 seasons. I feel our enough quality. Okay, and maybe are you ready to start games for the Black Stars? Okay, but I do not think the quality undoubted. He came in because of merit. Mediama games about 3 games in the Ghana Premier League. He's been one of Mediama's best players. And say probably from the local game no more. Now I think that if not for anything at all, the kind of performance that we put up Mediama in recent times, I think Prince Owusu deserve it to be there. He's not going to start, but going to the national team, a morale booster at the mount, enough confidence. It gives you a bit of value with the way me abo. And I feel ideally coaches etnasi and Otuado Koheno in Century Cup Samra Boy, and I was there. We spoke to Otuado, and he said there are a lot of quality players Omepiemu the in Century Cup and it would not be surprised to him if players any opportunities in the next Blasters call-up. Okay. 80 Prince Owusu any call-up no. It is based on Enyema Otuado share about him. Or central midfielder. The ability to drive forward through the middle. He's very good with passing, whether a short and also a long passing. Or very good. Idea Bako very, very clinical about any ability to strike from range. Okay. That's why I said, no, at the 30, 25 yards, no pobia or a boss shot at the ato neta. Prince Owusu, one of those players or more that quality your local game no more. And yami one cross when you call up into the setup. I think for the attackers, Fatawi Shahaku, Joseph Paintel, Christopher Bunsuba, Kamaldeen Suleimana, Jordan Ayew, Iñaki Williams, Antoine Salom Semenyo. I think these are players they've always been around the national team. Okay. They know themselves, even though the last call-up on Fatal Shahaku and it was based to injury and then a recovery or by performance that we put to the Leicester City, I think say something that we can applaud him for it. And we try to excuse in the last qualifiers, but this time around, on to me overlook, I was so never back to the squad. Now to me, come out in Sulemana in the last 3 games for Atalanta. I think say he's been super excellent for Atalanta in the last 3 games. And he adia ya de foforo MIN say Kamadin Sulemana enya call up back into the squad. Joseph Pintel is even hitting hat-tricks the Major League Soccer anymore. It's a good to say players edit that kind of form. Jordan Ayew is the captain of the team. Obviously, you would want to see him in the national team as often. Then, of course, Ubetimiaka about Christopher Bonsuba Oba national team the dimensional or the by very tricky left footer. The only problem is say Al Katsiano and yet 2 huge a clubber Ubetin in Kabibris and Al Nasser B or Al Hilal B and of course there will be a lot of talking points around him. But
I want to go. What shall I say? Good.
Oh yeah, go to the other share. But no, we should go. That's the conversation around and you're huge. And yeah, sometimes and said who but Oba national team anymore. I think we show quality anytime you obey your opportunity in the national team. For Inaki Williams, I think that it shouldn't a bit of a problem because he's always been in the national team. He's always made very good runs, but the players don't feel to find him. And then one of the biggest issues I think Otuado needs to address. Your players, I don't know how almost thinking in games when they are playing in front of a part across Sport Stadium. Bismarck, now I say Timudana Dawson. It means your player simple pass or person be because on your trip the stadium will erupt, and that is how you do with a player. Yeah, a referee say Xavi Hernandez and Sergio Busquets, man. They were players. They were known for those short passing, incisive passing, intelligent passing, and then they rate Andres Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, Paul Scholes, they were not players, but top midfielders, you cannot leave them out because they made the game look so easy when they play. But I think the supporters go stadium say player and chain call for MOB International playing the so and so because of that, every single player be away a national team they tend to be a selfish player. Boy so really I was so answer because I don't have a stadium why the day. But when we do it simple and we're able to put the ball at the back of the net, basically I think that the stadium they will celebrate more goals than dribbles. And I sanity. It is Obina Machin or Park Lebede da. Obinya no bottle neta, they more than Obechi Obi. So Inaki struggle to produce the kind of performance I expect to be producing what the Blasters because he's not always been found. And no problem at the May. For Antoine Salam Semenyo, he's in the form of his life. The last 2 seasons, why one of the best Ghanaian strikers ever Amanone and Oba national team no man never saw you but goes in shada and flow be brisa. Bismarck, I think Otuado should be bold and play players in positions a favor omo. Emma omo are comfortable to deliver. And I think if you're able to do that, you bet my boy home day in your very good results in these 2 games, I don't think that there were any excuse. We need 4 points against Comoros and Central African Republic. Bismarck, anchor, yeah, football, and a Black Stars, and Kayen ya fan for any Morocco, Cameroon, Senegal, Nigeria, Mali, those times when they were so strong in the competition, and yet Comoros and the Central African Republic. But because of recent performance, any poor result of Blasters in recent times in game way it looking very big and tricky. Anytime Blasters come against Emino, that is the time a Blasters ebre. Say a Bob a team one should I need Dini Bebria. Bismarck, and then a Black Stars, yebre. And I feel say the boys should side themselves up and understand say they are putting us in a position Sebi, we are Ghanaian, we are comfortable, and so they need to move us from that position. What Ghana have Comoros intimidation. But as to whether say Ghana Bismarck Kwaku share Central African Republic, no, and they the major problem. Because any child boy, you share one or not, I share child 10-0. Born, I see a boy, born a chat you on carry about drawing upon. Child in Central African Republic, Yano. One more ya pankasa. Enti, I feel say Otuado and his charges no should understand say. Situation no media come in the last 3-4 tournaments no.
Okay.
We cannot go back to those situations again. If for nothing at all, they should qualify to the World Cup and give Ghanaians that excitement, keke.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the $5,000 and the $10,000 no mbege no, mimi nyebi. Media ni say team ni be wini, na yetwi solo kudi agye edin. Eno ano no.
Okay.
Eno krampo no, wutwi solo kuno, obeto nsu anom, obeto aduane, obeto nsa anom, e ka wo ho. Enya players na beto amaye yo. One make a badge or winning bonus. You make a check get fee a quack. You real you work with Soloku and when I'm Yanabe, you really see a Bessan Swaboka.
No, obviously, Soloku.
Let's say you mean it. And the only benefit a normal Ghanaian when you free the blasters and we say Timmy Berrini and the man on the Subenya Niji. And the situation blasters no idea come in recent times. No, I think, say, we have gotten to the point where we need to tell the players to deliver when they are being called to the national team. And I think that the two games are a day between Central African Republic and Comoros. Ghana and just 4 points to secure qualification. No? Our boys needs to find the right antidotes and get us the result. And players are Otuado, Edu Mabano. I think, sir, they are good enough to get at that result. It will be very, very disappointing and sad if these boys disappoint Ghanaians.
Solomon Amakwada Superman and Martin and Kase Motuado Nantia or Diomudin Abatu Jasomo and Central African Republic and Comoros Gabono, woman Kwaku Sarpong and Onua Chena Dream at the Afan Isaac and Sapega at Bavibia Wakodia.
Kwakunyamiatum.
Are
Emunye.
And your uncle,
Emunye. Kwaku? Emunya so ebe adwuma. See about GPL. Good. But I mean, share Ghana for. Na oye obi a wo Ghana Premier League. Oh. But what they say, u team a wo support no. Omo JC no. Pebi ne she.
Okay.
Good. Kwaku Tuado. Yamona Baso.
Okay.
AFCON 2025 ebeye de papa ewo Morocco. But the tactics are not one shishen ye. Any new maybe a Ghana finding ye intino. Ye be TV so. Before these qualifiers, na Ghana akọ some major championship. AFCON be me nu mi ensa to aso. Ye bi epuna no mo kan bo mi ensa echi. The last one was in Ivory Coast. Ye call ye kobo bia na Richard Foria Daruma. Okoyi ntrekesia ya de ba fie. Kwaku ye back and ye be start say ye bo World Cup qualifier near to aso.
Okay.
Menu nyina wo krom ha and ye bo AFCON qualifiers aye ni Niger Accra Sports Stadium. Tinkom amfa. Now the lava na Black Stars ewo and as a Ghana for my Black Stars no make me aka say esote Oka Black Stars asem kra na yehu ya yehi. That we needed a statement win to revive and rekindle the lava Ghana for war Edema Black Stars. And okwasem pa ni say Black Stars no Ghana for per ankasa. Ghana for yini per 100 emu 100 per Black Stars.
But I know I want to
Yeah, who say yempe.
I know about microphone na me.
Mate. Yeah, who say yempe. But Black Stars no, ye need you. Say a bobo. Now funk of what denchi. That's a Black Stars in your chance. Now say, and also pa. And your dog more than my mind. Now, like I said, we needed a statement to win. Pampa. We needed a statement to win in our game against Mali. Then Otuado decided to change the system. What's that? Or drop it, Jordan. Jordan Fibet be say go.
Yeah, against Mali.
Mali were away. Or twisting your macacra. Yes. And then Ghana Konya, that huge win. Makes me because I walk up here, yeah, qualify. No, that win changed everything.
You couldn't win on yeah.
Yeah. Then we came back, we picked another point, and the icing on the cake was against Madagascar away. And you could 3-0. And the Odono Saye then a sorry view. Ghana for say, okay, a Central African Republic, ewo Kumasi. Yeshegwa ote de Ghana foka.
Debut.
Wante.
USA.
Oko a second year. Hazaka Shegwa omukade.
Do.
Oko swedra omushegwa omede.
Ende minim.
Ozi
oza.
Kotoko first no na lavin sina stadium ananza. Asante ko say no match so. Ye. Ghana Yeshegwa World Cup qualifies ewo Kumasi no. Yeni Central Africa I think it's on 4-3.
Yeah.
Jordan Shego player say USA mean TV that. Pons your bonu Kumasi. Aden Ghana for person World Cup ni.
Yes.
Enti every Ghanaian after those games no ebenya GD retired team na Kwaku me confidence with Black Stars mun koye. But when they won against Mali, no mo baba twaso Accra. Ebe share 5-0 against Chad. No mo call Hosiama eko ball Morocco. Honma mo share Madagascar 3 no. And a sabi Biama Ghanaians. Now we wanted to kill the game. Ewo Chad. And a weather condition pitch any other factors which is part of the game no. Yen to me the 3 points, in 1 point. Then we needed another statement win. Because Mali had changed their coach and they are putting things in right perspective. Until now it was going to be a difficult encounter.
Okay.
Otuado decided to go with 5 defenders. A lot of people criticized. But Ghana won the game by a goal to 0. Now, 6 points left. You're winning against one of these games. You're winning in your 3 points. What depends on you qualify? Be a table, I'm sure.
I was saying 4 points.
Would you be a table, I'm sure?
The possible 6.
Be a table, I'm sure.
I was saying 4 out of possible 6.
Would you be an amateur?
Ode kasa mi bi
Bismarck mama na mi yade na mi nkyere Kwaku bibi.
Why?
The otu wechi wono.
Ella
Bismarck mama na mi nyi. Kwaku me pese mi kyere wade bi wo table no so.
Me ti opa na ye nhwe se Ghana the possible 6 ni nyamu 4 the Black Stars of Ghana qualify at the World Cup because so it was US. You better and home sem na ya timi aka na ya husen anioma and so esi etie go be to aso dia maye.
Yes.
Be to aso dia maye na.
Kwaku. Wo hwe say na 6 points. Yempe issues. Enti yenya 4 points you be qualify.
Okay.
But me kyerɛ wade. The Black Stars of Ghana. Yen match a ye boetia Central African Republic. Ye winia ye betumi akoyenim. So now let's do some calculations here.
Okay.
Before I'll come to me building a point about squad we home. Good. Ghana did come with 19 points. Madagascar was 16 points. Comoros was how many points? 15. Comoros, Mali they were free. And between the 3 countries. Kwaku Yamfan say Madagascar 16 points no. About 2 games. Obenya 6 points. Aka ho. Oko how many points?
16. No, about 6 game. Obeko be 22 or so.
Oko 22.
Yeah.
Ghana was saying.
You're 19.
You saying.
You just yes, you have 4 points.
You have 4 points.
Yeah.
Good. Comoros on conversation will be brief because we have 2 points, 6 points in Ukraine. Obeko 21. which means Ghana win 1 win out of those games, no, 8 women qualify, but still because of mathematics or can be. Kwaku,
the woman say,
yeah,
Kwame Chef Kaka, the woman say a team for ancient Swami. The woman say Ghana, ya qualifier. First countries need now qualify, now first teams need now qualify. Yes, I be the second best placed team 4.
No masabo.
No Makwako Bo, Bibeko South America, Bibeko Asia, no Makwako Bo. To qualify, say, Ubo Homo there. I say Africa, they be 10 echo. It's no Makwako Bo playoff. Until I want to say, countries is a Gabon and Yabre, or here a DR Congo, and Yabre, even Madagascar, Obetimia qualify.
All right.
It's no money Abreno.
All right, Kwaku go back. Ghana bet me qualify in last game a year ball. This is the reason. Ghana airball etia a year Central African Republic no. Chad airball Mali. Then Comoros airball Madagascar. Comoros and Madagascar. Let's assume. So we game no end in a draw. Kotebo no mami. Who kotebo no mami? Kotebo no mami.
Biba,
You bet me qualify Wabra Yebo Central African Republic depending on that results involving Comoros and Madagascar.
Sir, and only a bass as well. One me one a bocani.
Comoros, one more the same time, about 4 p.m. First game, no Ghana anyway, at the same time. 4 p.m. Check it table, but I will check it table, mommy.
Okay.
Now me tell what they do. Check, mommy. Ghana was 19 points. Madagascar was 7. Comoros.
Ghana was 19. Madagascar was 16. 15. Comoros. It's Comoros to me winning the game. Okay.
Ghana bet me qualify for first game, no. Depending on Comoros. Yeah, first Comoros. Any Madagascar, game 9 in their draw. We be having 1 point. For 1 point, could be added. Whoever could say.
The Bassa Comoros, Madagascar was 17. Na Comoros was 16.
16.
Yeah.
Ghana was saying.
Ghana was 19.
Ghana 19 years because Central African Republic they say na account 22. You lose your next game against Comoros na Madagascar crowd no 20 say no we need on to ana imagine 17 on to yen.
No 20.
Na was saying
22.
Oh Kwaku mass na me no yen ma. Ghana was senses here.
Say was 19.
Yeah first ya Central African Republic. 22 points. And I'm say Comoros any Madagascar game no. My draw. Obi abenya 1 point account ho. Nti Comoros ebenya how many points?
Comoros was 16.
And about no Madagascar got 17. Na Ghana was saying
no 22.
It is Madagascar no. Yeni Comoros no.
Ye lusua.
Itie yeni Comoros no. Ye be find 17 for abo. So game we now mo bone in a draw. That is how it is. So the possibility say your game against Central African Republic, no, it was a yes, no, Kwaku, very, very critical. We should have qualified when we played against Chad. And a couple draw group no be open.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is another opportunity. 2 teams nobody yet no, Comoros and Madagascar no. Omo bo one ebo home.
Mo here say the city me ba na media.
Comoros ebo home.
And Comoros against Madagascar.
Yes, at home no. Comoros are strong. Until let's assume so Comoros
Madagascar share no Morocco.
No
Morocco.
Yes. Until you find say Comoros as Madagascar. Comoros will how many points?
Comoros share no so cost 16 because
that's what I was saying.
So how many points now? Or 15.
Or so or 18.
Or 18 or be sign Madagascar home.
Ghana here then.
Ghana here just a win to qualify.
Fantastic. That was where my point and Mr. said I'm a different. So that game against Central African Republic, the most important game in the careers of these boys. Coach Otuado, Opese Oya atonement Edema Ghana for our inability to secure qualification for Morocco AFCON 2025 year born December ye di bronya nanka Kwaku wo Morocco and our report mo Onua Onua TV e wo AFCON Morocco anga nya fine.
Okay, come up.
But womu esu eno mo benti yankobi. Just imagine so the OTN will feel your support of Black Stars at Morocco and ohwe e di bronya na osan so AFCON Morocco anga na ninje. Ofi ho no mo bape the following year was ko US akohwe World Cup. Ono an kra e man ho so. But they could not. That is why these players now are from no. Very, very critical. Say they should treat this game with contempt. It is the most important football game in the history of Ghana. because a win in that fixture can secure us the qualification. Enti na nenu mei mani aya poche meti ha amene Ghana for din komo. So Otuado knew the importance of this game.
Okay.
Ora kune Ali Dusedu in interview. Now Ali Dusedu in common with Tiema, he made it clear. Say this qualification to the World Cup will erase the pain, sir. Wamuti Ghana for fair Morocco, Ivory Coast. It will erase the pain, sir. Wamuti Ghana for fair Wabra went to answer Sudan, and to mention Niger, Accra Sports Stadium. And for them, they are ready, battle ready, and they are ready to deliver for the country. Me say against Comoros. Si yakobobra pa etia Central African Republic. Say na no ye 1,000 Ghana cedis. Ye kasike bia say ye ntua Ghana for will pay to support the Black Stars to beat Comoros for us to go to USA. Enti the game against Central African Republic. Mimi Kofi me say it is the most important game in the history of Ghana in recent years. Because critical. Asam nabo. Anka Kwaku group na yewom no group na yewom no asam na abentia anka ni kwase e board draw ba kumpo matches na yabo no
anka be ka say Ghana be hye say
Central African Republic anka nem abetena ha me kwa hu tintin na Charles Taylor don bote mo Ghana Premier League be kwa Central African Republic na ya house ni Nigeria na boy awo mo bo goalless wa gas was na ya omo asam na ba Sem na ba na ewie baby bonny entina akoba nsa but me dear per the lineup to ado dia beto woro Kwaku this is the best we have.
Okay,
this is arguably the best we have. There is no lineup anywhere we are say perfect. England for players ebu omshi omo ye call up and say drop on Argentina am free we me wa unti bi da esi de bia Argentina Thomas Tuchel wakofa player be from Everton won't be normal. But in recent collapse, hardly do you see people talk much about them. Oh, I didn't know one freeway. Because sometimes who to me who say that I remember say Joseph Painter wore Belgium. He was arguably the best player for Ghana. But call up Biano Jinanchain. Every day people were talking. But then they just tell me a Ghanaian player or outside are all performing Anton Savre.
But we shall see a cancer Osman Bukari. You have performance pa over Black Stars ya den call World Cup Qatar 2022 you who can offer so a bonny ball but the kwa say say yam frɛ no only say US no kwa 9 matches say yan to some fan frɛ no
na Kamadin Sulemana or boy
so no or Italy
Kamad Joseph Pinto
about US
Joseph Pinto
or US
yeah Mentwaso ana.
Twaso.
Osman Bukari got 26 years. Or Austin FC.
Oh, US.
He's a very fine player. And right World Cup game. I think so.
Okay.
What I say? But Kwaku, I don't want to delve into Obi stats. Say.
But just stats in the eka. I say collapse. Recent collapse on the Enfreno.
4 minutes saying.
So started or a starter.
I'm not saying he's not a starter. Kamadin, or your forward, or your defender, or now your midfielder.
Osman Bukari.
Osman Bukari.
Or your winger.
Or your winger.
Yeah.
31 matches in the MLS. 3 goals. 7 assists. Kwaku, you perceive yes her analysis now. Yeah, Madam fa listen to Sonia analysis kakrewa. Meme suminya yanka abetamwa e wasanko kan.
Abetamwa dia.
Asante kotoko abetamwa owo form.
Ana me kasa abetamwa dia.
Meba hwe Abdul Fattah Ishaku ana. Abdul Fattah Ishaku.
Yeah.
Abdul Fattah Ishaku wa Leicester City. League ni start here no 8 matches.
Ana wabo. Okay.
We share 2 goals. We make 1 assist.
Okay.
The start no. One bi mo Joe Pencil. Joseph Pencil enso Major League Soccer. We see a kind of Los Angeles Galaxy.
Yeah.
23 matches, 9 goals, 5 assists. They start no. Kamaldeen Sulemana.
Atalanta the
I don't want to go in there. You've seen the performance and Raya Ewo Champions League.
Yeah.
Weekend in the Serie A. He's doing well because from the backdrop said Onya a serious injury and now he moved from England to your friend said Italy.
Okay.
Kwaku, there are other names everybody would love to mention. But let's give respect to what Coach Utuado and any charges in the Ababon. I believe that at the right time other players will be called upon.
Okay.
They said na Mimi can say Yemfa Abetamu and me. Ebi kura usu nya yanka obeka se Yemfa Razak Simpson mra back. Ana meboa. Ebi kura obeka se Emmanuel Adai Karabag FK. Ohwe nra said o CC peg ball short to you will love to see him lead the attack. Ana
on your bad sir.
Fantastic.
On your bad.
Kwasisibo Kwaku day in day out. Obo Edma Real Oviedo in one of the best leagues in the world. You wouldn't make case for him, Anna.